It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Pet Show. Does your dachshund have you dumbfounded? Is your ragdoll kitten a little rude? Are your chihuahuas making you absolutely nuts? Well, if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, care about wildlife and the environment, and want to learn how to really understand your dogs and cats almost as well as they understand you. If you're confused about their behavior, just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology, real pet training, real pet behavior, and of course, real pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those adorable little furry buddies with you, folks, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you want to join me on the Ever-Growing Pet Show family, if you want to find out why your dog or cat is behaving a certain way, maybe you're confused about their behavior, maybe the cat always uses litter box but all of a sudden stopped, or your dog was always friendly, now he's showing aggressive behavior, you take your dog for a walk and he sees another dog and he goes absolutely nuts. Your cat scratched your favorite. You got the idea. If you have a question about your pet's behavior, great time to give me a call here at The Pet Show. And let me just state, if you're new to The Pet Show, well, welcome. Or if you're a regular listener to The Pet Show, it makes no difference. I have the greatest sponsors. I've been talking to you guys now for over 41 years. So everyone that calls into the show today and gets to talk to me live on the air, I'm looking forward to it, will get an absolutely fabulous, and I mean a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Again, if you're new, many of the items I give away are $25, $35, $45, even $50. So it's a great time to give me a call if you have a question or a comment. And if you get through to me live, a great gift will be on its way to you. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. But perhaps you're a numbers person like me. That's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. And as I said, if I get to talk to you live, a great gift will be on its way. Don't get excited. You know it's not for you. It's for your dog or cat. Again, that number, 866-870-5752. Also, if you want to watch the show live or ask a question live, you can go to my YouTube. We're broadcasting live on YouTube today. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, ECKSTEIN, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And if you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel, check it out. There are literally hundreds of videos there that inform and will make you smile at the same time. And again, that's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. The phone number, though, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Again, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what I have planned for today's show, but you know by now that there's no way I'm going to get to all of it, but I will try because your phone calls are my priority. But here's what I want to get to. You know, many people, I've been hearing this for, God knows, 50 years. So many people leave food down for their dogs all day long. It's kind of what we call in profession free feeding. So is free feeding a good idea or maybe not such a good idea? We're going to talk about free feeding, and I'll give you the pros and cons coming up a little bit later. Also, I wanted to get to this last week, but as always, I ran out of time. So today we're definitely going to get to it. Does your cat kick litter all over the floor? Are you sick and tired of sweeping up cat litter all over the kitchen or wherever you have it? Are you tired of getting up in the middle of the night for that snack and all of a sudden stepping in cat litter? Well, we're going to tell you why your cat is doing that, what you can do about it, or maybe what you can't do about it. Why do cats kick litter all over the floor? That coming up a little bit later. And from the cat's point of view, it may save your cat's life. Instinctively, you're going to be surprised when I tell you. Also coming up, so you're at the dog park or in your backyard. It's time to go home, time to go in the house. And you're saying, hey, come to your dog. And the dog looks at you, and I was going to say something I better not, Alex, but he doesn't respond to you, okay? He looks another way or gives you the paw and says, I'm not coming back. Why is that? Why is talking to your dog when you call him to come, for some dogs, like talking to the wind? We'll talk about that. Also coming up, understanding the aggressive cat. And, you know, a lot of behavioral issues with your dogs and cats, guys, a lot of them can be resolved if you play with your pets more. Come on, don't ignore them. You know, it's their life just as much as yours. Get down on all fours. Play with your pets. It can make a whole lot of difference in their behavior. We'll talk about that. As always, plenty of time for your questions and comments. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if your pet is chewing, jumping, confused about the litter box, maybe the new dog you rescued isn't housebroken, poor guy suffering with separation anxiety, your dachshund's depressed, your dog's chasing anything that moves, cat scratched your favorite chair, and your dog literally believes that anything he sees, he must hump. You heard me right. Anything he sees, he must hump. Give me a call. Phone number again, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I wish you guys can hear some of the texts and emails that come into me during the week. It would amaze you. So anyway, here's the question of the day. What does your dog or cat give you that your significant other doesn't? What does your dog or cat give you that your significant other doesn't or can't? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. And I know you guys have been hearing a lot about monkeypox, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and can dogs get monkeypox from the people they live with or vice versa. Plenty of time for your questions. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away here on The Pet Show. And again, if you want to see the face behind the mic, I don't know why you'd want it, but you can. You see some great stuff hanging on the wall, too. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And subscribe. I'm telling you, if you go to that YouTube channel, you're going to be amazed at how many YouTubes are there. They even took me back to years ago. Remember, here's the name from the past, Merv Griffin, when I did the Merv Griffin show, when I was doing the Creature Keepers, the Mickey Mouse Club. Great stuff. So check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. The phones are getting busy. I'm going to start off with a phone call. Hey, I'm going to start off in Arizona today. Let's go to Thomas. Hey, Thomas in Black Canyon, Arizona. Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
Greetings from the Lazy K9+4 Ranch.
Listen, aren't you right near that famous pie place? What's the name of it? Rock
Springs, yeah.
How do I know it? Because it just cost me almost $65 to ship a pie to my wife here in California. I used to live in Sedona, and I'd have to, one of the greatest places to stop. Great pies, great hanging for bikers as well. So I kind of miss Rock Springs.
You used to? You don't anymore?
No, I don't live in Sedona anymore. I'm back in, I gave up Sedona, and I moved back to
I was going to say, anytime you wanted to come down the road, because we're right there.
Well, I do have my office in Camp Verde, so I do go up back and forth once in a while, so you never know.
There you go. I still need to see some of the highlands up there. I've only been a resident here since about February. I moved from L.A.
You moved from L.A. to
Black babies.
At Black Canyon, a beautiful place. You got that lake not too far away if you want to drive to it. It's just an amazing area. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, the reason we're Lazy K9+4, we used to be +2, but in the past couple of months we've added a couple of puppies. And they are cute, of course, and they are also a handful and a half each one. One is about a 4-month-old now, pit bull, like a blue-nosed pit bull and border collie mix. The other one is about 5 months, and it's a boxer, although it acts more like a wrestler because I can't get the guy to just sit. He'll stand or he'll just go to ground. And, of course, because these guys have not yet been fixed, we are planning that. Trust me, we know about that. We're getting ready for that. The big guy's due in a couple of weeks. But because they're both let's just say with those things, is it harder to train them when they have those as opposed to when they don't? And also, is there a better time of day when trying to work to train them is best? Because I have found that during the early morning, it's well nigh impossible. But when it's closer to bedtime, when they're a little sleepier, sometimes it's a little easier to get them to do what you want.
Okay, here's the bottom line. The first thing you have to do is make sure you take the time to teach them the basics. And at first, you want to teach them the basics without a lot of distractions around, because they're learning, okay? You really want to accent the words you use, too. For example, when I'm teaching a dog to sit, I'm not going to say sit. I'm going to go sit. Why? Does it sound crazy? It does, but I want them to focus on that word. Once they learn that word, I can say sit. So I really compensate on the words I use also. Another mistake people make when they're training their dog is they often use the dog's name in conjunction with the word no. Don't do this, and they use the dog's name, or Duke, don't do that, or Duke, get over here. Never use the dog's name with anything negative. The positive association should always be there with the dog's name. That's number one. Number two, in terms of once the dogs have learned their basics, and I believe training starts at 8 weeks old. Once they've learned their basics and they're behaving without distractions, you start to incorporate distractions little by little until you get the response you're looking for. And if you're looking for 100% of the response, get something with batteries. A dog responds about 85%. That's perfect.
Right.
So that's what and always make it fun. If you find yourself saying, and it's not, I understand, if you find, oh God, I've been working with the dog for 20 minutes. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be working with a puppy that long, but if I'm working with the dog and you're getting frustrated, stop. Go inside. Have a glass of wine. Whatever you need to do. Never work with your dog when you're frustrated or angry. And if the dog isn't learning, it's not the dog's problem. It's the way you're teaching. Always remember that. Don't blame the dog. Yeah. Blame yourself. Look in the mirror. But in terms of working with two dogs, sometimes it's actually easier to train two dogs at one time once they learn the basics. So I don't think you're going to have any problem. I think you're going to be absolutely fine. What I'd like to do is, Thomas, to send you a copy of my book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. It'll take you through the day they walked into the house till you have to say that final goodbye in 50 years from now. I think it will be beneficial for you. In terms of time of day, it varies. Just like there are certain people that are morning people and there are certain people that are evening people. Sometimes you got to judge that a little bit. So if your dog is one of the dogs that takes a little bit longer to kind of get his day started, maybe you want to work with him a little bit later. But don't accept the fact that he's not going to listen to you at the earlier time in the morning as well. But in terms of the training itself, maybe a little bit later in the afternoon is the way to go. How's that sound?
Works for me. That's good stuff.
So how many dogs?
Just one other thing.
Sure, go ahead.
I was going to ask one other thing slightly unrelated to this. Because we've got 13, I've heard about some of the things that you have, like the hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if there's somebody I could talk to say, get them in bulk, just because we have a lot of dogs.
How many dogs do you have altogether?
13. The others are all toy to small, about 30 pounds or less.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't you do this? Give my office a call on Tuesday. Let me give you the phone number. 1-800-430, and the word hugs, 1-800-430 and the word hugs, HUGS. Give them a call, and I'll have someone speak to my office. I don't know if we can, but maybe you can, I don't know. I don't handle that end of it, but you're making a very smart decision, okay? I know I don't like to brag so much about the hugs and kisses, but let me tell you, it's just one of those products, the only product with my name on it, and I work so hard in making it what I consider the best supplement on the market for your dogs and cats.
I've heard you talk about them for years. So.
Yeah, it's absolutely a super product. And they're also available at my website, and they're available at Amazon and Walmart. Anyway, I'll put you on hold. The lovely Suzette is going to pick up, and we're going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, and I really appreciate the call. How about that, folks? We start off the morning with a lovely gentleman that has 13 dogs. 13 dogs. I guess you're allowed to have that many in Arizona. Arizona's kind of a pretty interesting state. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I'm going to be giving away some of those hugs and kisses, by the way. The most expensive item I have, Lucy Pet Food, I'll be giving away. Orthocid Gold for dogs and cats with hips and joints, which is all of them. Copies of my best-selling books. I just gave one of those away. Hemp seed oil, T-shirts, lots of great stuff to give away. Plenty of time for your calls. I'd love to hear from some people who recently adopted or rescued a dog or cat. I want to hear from you guys as well. And I also want to find out, does your dog or cat, what does your dog or cat give you that your significant other or partner can't? Come on, there are things there are. What does your dog or cat give you that your significant other can't? Give me a call. I'll send you a great gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And again, if you want to see the face live on YouTube, not a bad-looking face. If you want to see it on YouTube, check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'll take some questions from there as well, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Let me take a quick break. Alex is telling me I have to, and then we'll be right back to all of your calls. And And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number 866-870 KRLA 866-870-5752. You know, having multiple pets can mean double the trouble, but also means double the love. And yes, folks, that's a sacrifice I am willing to make. I posted on my Facebook page the how many animals I lived with at one time. God, you go to my Facebook page and check it out. But it was, I don't know, 23 dogs, 28 cats, 6 chickens, 6 ducks, 2 pigs, a couple of snakes, guinea pigs. Well, you got to check it out. But there was a whole lot of pets that lived with me at one point in my life. I left Long Island for a while. I bought a farm in upstate New York. You ready for this? Upstate New York, way upstate New York, outside of Albany. Try to do this nowadays. I bought 5 acres and a farmhouse built in 1802 for $29,000. Included a barn, 5 acres. It was perfect for what I needed, and I had a whole bunch of animals living there with me at one time. All rescued, by the way. Every animal was rescued. So if you go to my Facebook page and like it, facebook.com/The Pet Show Radio, facebook.com/The Pet Show Radio, an entire list of all the animals that live with me. Not my whole life, but all at one time. Yeah, I may be a little eccentric. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to, we got Gene, Audrey, we got Neil, we got Nick, we got David, but right now it's Eugene in my hometown of Santa Monica. Hey, Eugene, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How you doing?
I always listened religiously to your program for the last 2 decades.
Well, I appreciate that, Eugene. Thank you.
I have a problem. Did your colleague... the receptionist tell you the problem?
Well, I have a note. Suzette and I don't get to talk to each other because we're at different locations. I'm actually broadcasting today.
The problem is, here is the problem, Warren. We have incessant barking. That's 4.5 years old.
I don't believe you.
Pomeranian.
I don't believe you, Eugene. I don't believe you. I'm joking with you. I'm listening to the dog barking in the background.
He's a teacup, but the background. Unfortunately, the way we adopted this little one, our 3 Pomeranians died a few years ago. So what happened is, from age 2, for the next year or so, the man who inherited the dog totally neglected him. He would be tied up in a tiny bathroom, the size of an airplane bathroom, you can imagine, maybe 120 square feet, here in Santa Monica, and he was tied to a toilet. The poor doggy didn't even have room to pee or anywhere.
What an absolute shame.
And another thing he did, he would tie him to his bicycle, not to his bicycle, but he was holding him and biking on the trail here in Venice, you know.
Yeah.
And the little doggy has 3-inch legs.
Listen, you're absolutely right. Listen, Eugene, that drives me crazy all the time. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago about people riding their bikes with their dogs in the heat of the day. So in terms of what you're telling me,
barking
okay. So let's talk about the barking. Let's talk about it. First of all, we don't stop barking. We teach the dog when barking is accepted and when it may not be accepted.
Okay.
Now, it sounds to me like this dog, being abused the way he was abused, would bark and bark and bark and bark. And when he was barking a lot, probably that's
big noises.
I understand, but that's listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully, Eugene. When the dog was barking a lot, that's probably the only time someone paid attention to him, whether to tell him to shut up, knock it off, or abuse him in whatever way they abused him. So his barking excessively is probably due as an attention-getting device. So what we need to do is start letting the dog know that when he's barking, let's not overreact to it. The more you say, no, stop barking, shut up, whatever you say, the more the dog's going to bark because he believes he's getting attention for it and you're joining in. What I would use in this case is a little bit of distraction theory. I know this sounds a little bit contradictory to what I normally would say, but if the dog is barking, take him somewhere else. Take him outside. Play with him outside. Let him start associating the barking with a positive versus a negative, and the barking will start to dissipate a little bit at a time. But the more you say no, 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 the more he's going to bark, 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 bark. The insanity of the people that had the dog before you, tying a little dog like this up in a bathroom, running him on a bicycle when it's a small dog, it's just absolutely insanity. So this dog's been through an awful lot in the time period. So now what I want to do is we need to build up his confidence a little bit. I don't know if you've done any training with the dog, but sometimes I recommend training, not because I care whether the dog sits or stays, but when the dog's responding, getting good boy, good boy, good boy, it really, really does make their self-esteem better. And with more self-esteem, barking's going to dissipate as well. So number one, I want you to do some basics. Number two, I want you to increase the exercise factor. Number four, when the dog is barking, rather than say no, 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 because that's what he's looking for, take him somewhere else, let him play, take him out in the backyard. I think that'll make a difference. I know some people are out there saying, but Warren, if he's barking, you take him in the backyard, aren't you reinforcing the barking? Yeah, you are, but you're also changing the reason for the barking. It's not barking for negativity now, it's barking for positivity. Let's get him at that point. And then if he's still barking too much for positives, I'll bring it back a little bit. But that's where we need to be right now, Eugene.
Can I tell you what I do to try to stop?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Try to prevent the big dog even being close to us. I turn him sideways and on his snout, lightly close it and nicely talk to him in Hungarian to be quiet and to be, he's bigger. And he stops, but unfortunately with my wife, it totally goes with it.
Well, that's the problem. In other words, you're not all going to do it exactly the same way. I don't like the fact that you're turning him sideways, because what you're doing is you're not confronting the situation. You're just kind of adapting to it. Let's get this problem over and done with.
The reason behind it is for him not even to see the big dog.
Well, that's not a resolution. That's not. Listen, if you never want to get into a car accident, don't drive. That's not a resolution to a problem. Let's get the dog where he can enjoy life for whatever amount of life he has. Get to the point where he's confident and he can enjoy life the way we want him to enjoy life. That's where we need to be at this point. Eugene, follow my advice.
That's the best approach.
Do some training. When he's barking, don't correct him. Take him outside. Let him play a little bit. Let him associate the barking with something positive. Usually barking is not as excessive in a positive as it is with a negative. But after a while, if he's still barking too much, even for the positive end of it, we can bring that barking down a little bit. But right now, what this poor dog's been through, let's do one thing at a time. Let's get him comfortable. Let him know that barking isn't always going to get a negative response. It's going to get a positive response, and take him outside at that point.
Exercise I am already giving.
Good. That's great. No, Eugene.
200 yards, you know?
That's fine. That's fine. Listen, whatever you're doing, listen to me, Gene. Whatever you're doing is great. But the bottom line is it's not working, is it?
Understood.
Okay, so follow my advice.
I'm gonna follow you to a T and then see what happens in a couple of weeks.
You follow me to a T, and then maybe I'll bump into you in Santa Monica somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna put you on hold, and I'm gonna send you. You know, I sent the book. I don't know if I want to send him a book at this point. You know what? Let's send him a book also. That's not giving away more books than crazy. Let's send him a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. By the way, I don't just give away those books. They are available at Amazon.com or thepetshow.com. God, I got to take a quick break here. When we come back, we got Audrey, we got Neil, we got Nick, we got David. The phone number, 866-870 KRLA. I got hugs and kisses to give away. I got Lucy pet food to give away, books to give away, hemp seed oil, T-shirts, lots of great stuff. Plenty of time for your calls. Come on, guys. You're not going to answer my question? What, are you embarrassed? Come on now. What does your pet give you that your significant other can't? Come on, give me a call, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to all your calls. And by the way, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. We're broadcasting live there, but if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, I'm telling you, you're going to love some of the videos we do there. Boy, they're keeping me jumping. Anyway, right now, And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein, 866-870-5752, 866-870 KRLA. That is the phone number. We're going to get to all your phone calls just a second. Audrey, Neil, Nick, and Dave. I do have one line open, so it's a great time to call me, 866-870-5752. We've been hearing a lot about monkeypox. Is this something you got to worry about with your pets? Well, as cases of monkeypox in the U.S. grow, it isn't totally unreasonable to wonder what risks, if any, our furry friends face as they hunker down at home with their infected guardians. The bad news, we don't know if dogs or cats can get monkeypox from people. This according to the CDC. It is possible, however, that humans can spread the virus to animals in general via petting, cuddling, sharing sleeping areas, food, and kissing. So I guess what they're recommending, if someone does have monkeypox and they have pets in the household, maybe another caretaker should be taking care of them till they know a little bit more. Hey, coming up, why did your cat kick litter all over the place? We're going to take a look at that. I'm definitely going to get to that this week. And the question of the day is, what does your pet give you that your significant other can't? 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. Let me go to Audrey right now in Granada Hills. Hey, Audrey, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
How can I help you today, Audrey?
Can you hear me all right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Thank you for being there. We've talked many times, but today, an answer to your question, what Suki gives me is total love and total unconditional love and total unconditional acceptance.
Yeah,
so
you can't get that from another person. You can't get that from another person, that's for sure.
Isn't that the truth, Warren?
Absolutely.
Isn't that the truth?
Absolutely the truth.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine. Audrey. So what's your question for me?
All right. My little grand dog has been sick for the last year, but she's managed to stay all right. But now we're in the last stages, and my question for you is, it looks like it may happen in the next week or so.
I'm so
and my
sorry.
question, I want to do a little bit of footwork. Because there's also a little a 15-and-a-half-year-old little toy poodle and a 3-year-old poodle that are also there. And I want to know, how do you help them deal with grief when little Belle is no longer with us?
What a fabulous question, by the way, Audrey. And it's something I deal with on a regular basis. And so many of my listeners are multi-pet people. And when a pet is in the household that crosses the rainbow bridge, the way the other pets in that household deal with it is incredible. Number one is all living things grieve. I don't care what human egos tell you, all living things grieve. And that means dogs, cats, birds, horses, elephants, they all grieve when they lose a best friend. Now, when a dog passes on, when a dog crosses that rainbow bridge, very often the other dogs that live with him or cats that live with him are going to go through the stages of grief, anger, depression, all of the stages we go through. Now, what can often happen, it could be devastating unless you, as a good grand dog guardian, what you need to do is make sure the dogs have a lot of distraction. So, for example, it's normal for them to grieve. It's healthy for them to grieve. But if they're grieving all the time, that grieving can turn into a pretty deep depression. But if you distract them a little bit, take them to a different location, get them new toys, whether they play with them or not, I don't care. Invite other people over to the house. If they get along with other dogs, take them to an area where they can play with other dogs. Sure, when they come back, they're going to remember the dog that crossed over. However, it's not going to be 24/7. And not only is that the way to get a dog or a cat through a grieving process, it's all the same to get a human through a grieving process, again, using that distraction therapy. So that's where you really need to be at this point. Let them grieve, but also sit down with them. Have the conversation. I know this sounds eccentric to a lot of people out there. Have a conversation. Say, we're losing our best friend. We love him. It's going to be okay. No more pain for him. He's going to cross the rainbow bridge, and we'll think about him often. Have that conversation. It's good for you. It's good for the dogs that are surviving in the household as well.
Wonderful. All right. That pretty well answers the question.
Well, Audrey, here's another thing I want to give you. Audrey, I want you to go to my website, thepetshow.com. Don't forget that THE. There's a section, it's probably one of my incredible sections on the website. It's called Ever After. I want you to go to the Ever After section. It's been over the years. I've been talking to you guys for, 50 years almost. And it's stories and photos and poems and things people have written to help them get through the loss of their best friend. So I want you to go there and take a look at it and read it. Now, the surviving dogs, how old are they?
Well, the little poodle, she's 3. He's 3, and little Penny, she's 15 and a half. She's a little toy poodle.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette's going to pick up. Suzette, we're going to send her hugs and kisses. And if people are saying, Warren, why are you sending hugs and kisses for this situation? Hugs and kisses is really beneficial. If a dog or a cat is going through any type of stressful situation, the hugs and kisses will help with the stress as well as it helps the overall body adjust. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. We are going to Neil in Venice. Hey, Neil, welcome to the Pet Show.
Well, hello, Warren. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, I was in your neck of the woods recently. Hey, Neil, I was in your neck of the woods recently.
Much for the show. Yes, I guess I'll explain my question. I had like a side question, wondering about how it is with small dogs if they're good for traveling. But my big question was, my dog is a Chihuahua mix. She's not very big, and I don't know, she's about maybe 10 pounds or so. If I take her with me and I go to like another city or visit relatives or something, and I'm staying in like a hotel, and I try to leave her in the room by herself, she squeaks and squalls.
As well she should. As well she should. She's in a different location, in a motel or a hotel room with all different smells around it. She's not with you, a different city, a different state, and she's not feeling real comfortable. So my question to you is that if you're going to be traveling with her, number one is I would not leave her in a room by herself. It always freaks me out. I hear the stories of people that do that, and the people that clean up the rooms come in, the dog gets out and gets loose, never to be found again. I hear the horror stories, every single one of them. So what I would do is if you can take her with you and have her with you all the time, that's great. If not, leave her home, have someone she knows well come into your home and take care of her where she at least has that comfort.
Okay. So basically the rule is don't leave them alone in a room or someplace like that.
I don't. I mean, people are probably out there right now disagreeing with me, and that's fine. If you're asking me and this is how I answer your questions, okay? This is how I am with my own guys. My Molly, my Willie will never stay in a hotel room or motel room without me being there. If they're going to go on a vacation with me, they're going to be with me all the time. I'm going to rent the cabin with me, and I'm staying with them, or a camper. But I do not listen. I know I'm eccentric, but I hear the crazy stories every day. I left my dog in a room, and the chambermaid came in, the dog got out, or the cat got out, and was never to be found again. Some hotels are better. Some hotels you can actually have someone within the hotel sit with the dog, something you may want to look into. But quite honestly, right now, when Denise and I travel, we have Molly and Willie have their own little pet nanny that comes over. I think they're starting to like her more than me anyway. But that would be my recommendation to you, Neil.
Could I mention one thing to you, Warren?
Yeah, go ahead.
I take her camping with me, and I had to leave the area for a very short time, but I put her in the tent, and she was fine. I wouldn't leave her for very long, but I went and I took a dip in the pool at the campground. I was gone maybe an hour. I came back. The funny thing was, she was just fine.
That might be, but that's fine. And then, again, it's your option to do that. And I got to move on, but let me just say this for the record. I don't care where I was. I would never be leaving my dog in a tent by itself at a campground. God knows snake. God knows coyote. God knows the person's next to you. Big dog goes in there.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'll take your advice.
Maybe, again, you have to, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food. Again, when I do this show, and people say, but Warren, you're so paranoid. Yeah, I am. You want to talk to the thousands of people, tens of thousands of people I talk to every week? You want to hear the horror stories I hear? It only takes one mistake I'm not going to make that mistake with my pets. They're too close to me, and I love them too much. Agree or disagree? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I got Nick and Mark. We also have David up there. A great time to call me. I got hugs and kisses to give away, Lucy Pet Food, Author Suit Gold, copies of my books, T-shirts, or if you want to check out youtube.com and ask a question there, feel free. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. But right now, a quick break. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number 866-870-KRLA. Lots of stuff to give away. Hey, before I get to the phone calls, back to the phone calls, I want to share this with you. I always get this. Warren, why does my dog not come back when I call him? I wrote this week, and I want to share it with you. Many dogs don't respond to their owners calling them to come when it previously resulted in losing something they love. Leaving the dog park tends to be the most common example. They know that when their person says come at the dog park, they'll be put on a leash and then lose out on playtime. The same goes for dogs that love spending time in the backyard. Their guardians call them to come and then they have to go inside. Here's a way to prevent your dog from associating come with losing something they love. While playing with the dog at the dog park, call your dog frequently and then let them go play some more. Reward them each time. Release them back to play. Don't wait until you're leaving the dog park to call your dog to come. 9 or 10 times there, and he'll get the idea that when you call him, he's not always going to be taken away, and little by little, you'll be absolutely fine. But that's the reason. It's kind of like if someone said to me, come here, and when I got there, I was not able to enjoy what I was doing, why would I come back next time? So if you're at the dog park, and your dog's having a great time, and you call him to you, always just to leave, of course he's not going to want to come to you. Make it fun. Play with the come command a little bit at the dog park with some other dog lovers as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Nick in Northridge. Hey, Nick, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, thanks, Warren. Appreciate it. My question is with respect to dog teeth cleaning.
Yeah.
Because I had a very, very bad experience with the veterinarian putting the dogs under and doing the teeth cleaning. And then when we got our little girls back, they were both missing 5, 6 teeth. They had extractions that I didn't consent to and knew nothing about. So I'm wondering whether we can do teeth cleaning without the anesthesia.
You know, it all depends, Nick. One of the things, if you're a regular, really good at keeping the teeth clean and doing it on a regular basis, maybe the anesthesia doesn't have to be done that frequently. But here's what happens. Very often, unless you know what you're doing, dogs constantly lick themselves, so hair gets underneath the gums, and that can cause problems. And sometimes the vets use when a dog is under anesthesia, the vets use exactly what the dentist use, a Cavitron, to clean their teeth. So it all depends on the severity. If you're really good about it, taking care of the teeth, that may mean that the dog's not going to have that many teeth either extracted or have to go under the anesthesia. There are people that come to your home, will clean the teeth. I check them out very carefully. But again, it all depends. And it all depends on the age of the dog, the health of the dog, whether he's capable. But I got to tell you, I've had some dogs in my life that have been rescued and their teeth were really bad, and I had to have them anesthetized to have their teeth cleaned. And, you know, the doctor used the same thing on them that they used to give people a colonoscopy, and they wake right up. So, you know, it may have been something your doctor may have done wrong. I don't know. But I would get a second opinion at this point. But if you can keep them clean on a regular basis, obviously they're not going to have to have the anesthesia. But sometimes they really need that deep cleaning.
Just because the teeth are a little wiggly doesn't mean that they need to be extracted, does it?
Well, that all depends. And if the dentist feels it's a little wiggly and there's problems with the nerve underneath and there's all kinds of junk underneath and he knows it's going to get infected because it's loose and stuff can get inside, then the vet has to make that decision. But also, I also believe the vet doesn't always know when they go into it how many teeth they may have to remove. But I think the veterinarian should have that conversation with the guardian, saying, listen, you know, we looked at the dog's teeth. We're not going to really know how bad they are until we get them under the anesthesia. We may have to take out some teeth or may not have to take out some teeth. I don't know, and talk to you about it before it's done. They should have had that conversation with you.
Yeah, I know. I agree they should have had it, and unfortunately, not only did they not have it, but, you know, I got like an $1,800 bill as well.
Yeah, but also what you may want to, you know, there are veterinarians that specialize, there's a whole entire group of veterinarians that specialize in dental work. So you might want to check that out as well. You can go to the American Veterinary Dental Association and check that out also.
American Veterinary Dental. Okay, that sounds great.
And I'm sure you'll find
Warren.
Hey, listen, I got to go. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you. You know what? I'm going to send you some. You know, I'm going to send you some Orthosooth Gold for your pets to keep those hips and joints in good shape. Yes, Alex, I will take a break right now. Don't throw anything. Listen carefully. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to break for the top of the hour. When we come back, Kathy, Mark, Terry, David, you'll be my first call. But let me take a quick call from Kathy right now in El Segundo. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the show.
Yes, I wanted to help the gentleman that just called. My veterinarian recommended a product called Veggie Dent, VEGGIEDENT. And it's made with vegetables. It's made in America. It's shaped so that when the dog eats the stick, it scrapes the tartar off the teeth. And it's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's a great. Listen, I'm not familiar with that product, but let me tell you what I use on my own dogs. I use a product called Oravet, O-R-A-V-E-T. They're dental hygiene shoes, and let me tell you why I use them. Number one, what it really does, it actually prevents the bacteria from attaching itself to the teeth. So that's one of the reasons I use it. It also reduces plaque and calculus and gets rid of bad breath. I've been using it for years now since I adopted Molly and Willie. So I'm sure there are many different types of chews, and if you get a recommendation from your vet, I would use it. The name of yours was for those people that are vegan or vegetarian, but for those people that may not be, the product I'm using on Willie and Molly is Oravet. But any of those products are really beneficial. So obviously you're having good results with your dog and the product, correct?
Absolutely. And
great.
The name of the product you use is Oradent?
Oravet, O-R-A-V-E-T, Oravet.
Oravet. Okay, wonderful.
Kathy,
Thank you, and hopefully this will help the guys.
I hope so.
You're
Kathy,
welcome.
don't go anywhere. I want to send you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends walk upright." We're going to take a quick break, then right back to all you. Because when I come back, I'm going to tell you why your cats kick litter all over the place. You're not going to want to miss it. It's an interesting approach. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show.
Warren Eckstein, the man for your pets. We tried to stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. You sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And And if you love animals and want to find out why they behave the way they do, how to resolve any issues you may be having with your dog or cat, usually it's the other way around. Your dog or cat may be having issues with you. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the first and only real pet psychology, behavior training, and of course, pet lifestyle show. If you have a question or comment about your dog or cat, want to resolve an issue, want to brag about some dog or cat you adopted, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the pet, just a reminder, everyone that calls in will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat, many worth $35, $45, even $50. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know, another question, I kind of started the show at the beginning saying that, when you have more than one pet, you get double the love. Maybe a little more work, but you get double the love. So I'd love to hear from some of my listeners out there that have a more than one dog or more than one cat or six or a dozen or whatever you have. I'd like to hear from you and explain why you think having more than one makes life a lot easier and you can love them equally. Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. And again, if you want to ask a question, you can check out YouTube. We're broadcasting live at youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Okay, before I get back to the phones, I'm going to give you some time to call, okay? I got a couple of open lines, which is rare. 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. I get so many calls about this. I tried to get to this for the last 2 weeks, and I ran out of time, so I'm going to do this right now with you. Listen carefully. Why does my cat kick litter all over the place? You know, the difference between a trainer and a behaviorist, or a behaviorist and a trainer, is that very often the behaviorist really has to be analytical and try to figure out why the problem's there. So I want you to listen to me carefully. Does your cat kick litter all over the floor? What does this mean? You know, despite being skilled predators, cats are also mesopredators. What does that mean? They're both predators and prey. Unlike apex predators at the top of the food chain with no natural predators, cats are in the middle, preying on smaller animals and being preyed upon by larger animals. Because they're also a prey animal, cats developed instinctive behaviors to protect them from nearby predators. One of these behaviors is digging in the litter tray. Cats likely dig and cover their waste to hide their presence from visiting predators. Covering waste may also help cats to avoid parasites in the wild. So what can you do about it so your cat isn't kicking litter everywhere? Well, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing. Sorry, Alex. Sometimes the enclosed litter works. Sometimes a higher litter works. This is instinctive behavior. Digging is a natural and important behavior, and trying to interrupt that may cause stress and confusion for your cat. Get him out of the litter box. Then you're going to call me and say, Warren, why is my cat peeing all over the house? So again, there's a reason for it. Cats are both prey and predators. And they're all, I'm going to talk about why they're not nocturnal either. It's a different word. They're not nocturnal because they're morning and dawn and dusk. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's why. I hope that answers a lot of questions for you. So sometimes you just have to live with it. Sometimes you got to put some plastic around it. But quite honestly, an enclosed litter box, if it's really bothering you that much, you can try that. But very often when people make these changes, they get back to me right away and say, Warren, we should have left well enough alone. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to David Tustin. Hey, David, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi there, Warren. Thank you for taking my call.
What's up?
So, okay, we adopted a border collie about going on 3 to 4 weeks now.
Well, congratulations, David. One of the brightest breeds out there. Just an amazing breed of dog.
Thank you. I've actually been looking forward to adopting one for about 10 years now. Just for that very reason, I've been wanting to train one, and he's very, very smart. He's a beautiful dog. He's about 11 months old, and his name is Chase. The thing is, it's ironic because he won't chase anything, and that's why I'm calling. When we take him to the dog park, he will get other dogs to chase him. He loves being chased, so he's named appropriately, but I can't get him interested in balls or toys or anything like that. And so I was wondering if you had any tips, any ideas.
Yeah, I got a couple of great tips for you. What I want you to do is, if you have a backyard, I'm assuming?
Yes.
If you can take a corner of the backyard and take, I don't know, some type of wood or fencing and kind of make it a triangle where, the narrow side is in the corner and then coming out is the wide side. What I would do, and very often I've had to do this in the past when teaching dogs to do certain things, is you would toss some of the items into that corner where he has no choice but to grab it and pick it up and come bringing it back. He's not going to bring it back to you right away, but sometimes at the beginning, it's like baseball. In the vicinity is good enough. But that's what I would be trying at this point. I would definitely be trying the setting up like a V and tossing stuff into the corner. That being said, remember, this is a herding breed. Yeah. So very often a herding breed, they may decide that they'd rather herd than retrieve. So there are certain, as long as he's having a good time, the most important thing that you can do with a breed like this is don't bore him. You need mental stimulation. So even if you've done some basic training with him, David, go some advanced, do some other types of training. You tell whatever you need to do. And again, not because I want him to respond, that could care less. But in other words, if you keep him mentally stimulated, they're just, especially a breed like a border collie. I'm surprised the dog didn't call and say, "Hey, let me tell you what's wrong with David." They're just absolutely incredible. But you don't want to bore them. You want to keep them as stimulated as you possibly can. Let him play the way he wants to play. For example, if you had a child that wanted to play basketball and you wanted him to play football, would you force him to play football or would you allow him to play basketball? If your dog loves to be chased by other dogs and doesn't like to retrieve, then so be it. You can try what I suggested, but I would leave well enough alone, David.
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that. And just one last thing. Tomorrow, actually, I am going to be a meeting with somebody who teaches fly balls. So I thought I'd at least try something that might get him.
Yeah, no, fly balls.
He loves running. So
yeah, fly ball's an awful lot of fun. There are so many things you can teach him. Fly ball, and you can go through agility training. There's lots of things you can teach the dog. And just how old is he?
He's about 11 months.
This is going to be an experience. Listen. This is an experience like none ever you've had. You're going to fall in love with him. I'm sure you already love the dog. But don't let him get bored. In other words, if he gets really bored, read him something, okay? But just keep him stimulated. That's the most important thing you can do. Hey, David, a 10 or 11-month-old border collie, I want to keep his coat in great shape. I want to keep his hips and joints in the best shape ever. I want to make sure he stays healthy for another 30 years. So I'm putting you on hold, and I am actually sending you one of my more expensive gifts, the Hugs and Kisses Vitamin Mineral Supplement Treats for your border collie, and especially a 11-month-old because they're still growing, and then chondroitin and glucosamine is going to make a big difference as well. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to let's go to Newport Beach. Hey, Terry, welcome to the Pet Show.
Yes?
Hi, Terry. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. What's up?
So I have two dogs. Blondie is a 5-year-old terrier cocker spaniel mix, and Gordo is my 3-legged min pin who's 15.
You named the dog Gordo? Whoa! You named the dog Gordo?
He's a min pin, yes.
That would be like my mother saying, "No, I'm going to name Warren Chubby. Hey, Chubby, come here." Now, you can't shame your dog.
He doesn't know it.
You can't shame. I'm just joking with you. You can't. I'm going to do a story later on about shaming dogs. A lot of people are shaming their dogs. So
he actually came with that name. So my dogs are always, got from the shelter and
bless
came
you.
with that name.
Bless you. It's kind of a cute name. It's kind of a cute name, Gordo. Isn't there a TV show, Gordo y Flaco?
No.
I think there's I think there's a Spanish station where there's a heavy set guy and a very skinny woman, Gordo and Flaco. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, go ahead. So, what's your question for me about Gordo?
So no, it's about Blondie. So
let's talk about Blondie.
Is attached at my hip. Everywhere I go, she follows me. Laundry room, she follows me. I sit on the couch, she sits right next to me. But she is hysterically barking when I walk out of the house, because the only time she'll go out is if I go out, and she loves going out, and she loves playing in the yard, but she won't go out unless I go out. So she gets so excited, she's like barking, barking, barking. But then if I leave and I come back and I walk in the gate, she barks hysterically and won't stop for like 60 seconds. She's like so excited, I'm home.
So why does that? Why does that bother you? Okay, let me tell you. When my wife Denise goes out to the store, she could be gone for 6 minutes, and she comes back. Willie and Molly are barking like she's been gone for 16 years.
Do they stop?
Yeah, they stop. Maybe after a minute or 2 minutes, or if I distract them a little bit. But in other words, if your dog's barking for 60 seconds, give Blondie a hug and kiss on the head. She's there because she wants to be with you. She's excited to be with you. You don't want to stop her from doing that. If you call me up and say, hey, Warren, listen, the dog's barking for 45 minutes straight. I don't know what to do here. That's a different ball game. 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even 5 minutes. That's normal. Don't worry about it. Let them be normal. I believe that's... Go ahead.
If she wakes me up at 4 in the morning and she needs to go out and I take her out, I can't have her barking hysterically for 30 seconds at 4 in the morning.
So you go out there with her, let her do what she has to do in the backyard, and you bring her right in.
Well, that's what I do. I have to actually kick her because if I just let her walk out, she starts barking, and I can't have that at 4 in the morning.
Well, she's barking for what, 60 seconds?
Probably, but
get over it. No, I don't mean to be tough with you, but get over it. The dog has to pee or poop at 4 o'clock in the morning. You take the dog out to pee and poop at 4 o'clock in the morning. She gets excited. She peed and poops. She feels better about herself. She wants to go back to sleep. She wants to say hello to you. She barks for maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 90 seconds. Deal with it. Listen, my neighbor's gardener comes at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not thrilled about that either, but it happens, and I live with it. So, in other words, your dog's barking for 60... there are people out there that are saying, Warren, my dog barks for 20 minutes when I leave. That's not good. But 90 seconds, 60 seconds, leave well enough alone. Leave well enough alone, Terry.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better because I just thought she shouldn't be that hysterical every time I walk in around.
No, she loves you. She's excited. Listen, if it was a longer period of time, it'd be a whole different ballgame. Anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold, and I am sending you I'm going to send you some hemp seed calming oil for your dog. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time because lots of great stuff to give away. By the way, that story I just did on kicking stuff out of the litter, it will be posted. It will be posted on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show. Way too much monkey business. We are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Love to hear from some people there that live with multiple dogs or multiple cats or one of each. Double the love. Great time to give me a call. Do have an open line. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. I have some more Lucy pet food to give away. I got some more hugs and kisses to give away. Arthur Gold for your dog or cat's hips and joints. My best-selling books, either How to Get Your Dog or How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Those amazing T-shirts that say None of My Friends Walk Upright. Kitty Lickies, those little air horns you hear me talk about all the time. So it's a great time to give me a call. Everyone that gets through and gets to talk to me live on the air will get one of these gifts for their dog or cat. And by the way, some of the items I have left to give away are worth $45 and $50. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Lorraine, Irene, and Mike will definitely get to your calls. But I want to share this with you guys. You know, often you hear me refer to cats as being nocturnal animals, and that's not really true. I use the term nocturnal when referring to cats basically because it's a lot easier for people to understand. Well, they're not really nocturnal. You know, if an animal is active at night when it's dark outside, it's considered nocturnal. The opposite of nocturnal is diurnal, which we are, you know, when we hang out during the day. But there's another sense. It's called crepuscular. Do you know what crepuscular is? Crepuscular is a dog or a cat or any animal, not a dog, but any animal that really is most active at dawn and dusk. And it actually comes from the Latin word twilight, and that's what cats really are, is crepuscular. So they kind of they're more active in the morning, and they're more active, and that's when a lot of their predators are not active because they were active at night. So that's one of the reasons they're more active during the day. So they become that way, as I said, because so many crepuscular animals take advantage of the time when hunters are just waking up or falling asleep. When I say hunting, I mean other animals out there. So cats are not really nocturnal. The true word is crepuscular. That's what our cats are. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, the way to get through to the show. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away as well. Right now, I am going to... let's go to Lorraine in Encino. Hi, Lorraine. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren.
How you doing today?
Fine, thank you. I have a problem with, I have a feral cat. I've had her about 9 years. Her or him, I'm not even sure. And we, both of us, are being attacked by, I don't know, lots of mosquitoes and no-see-ums. And also, she goes to the bath. I have a yard that's like a jungle, and she loves it. And she has nooks and crannies everywhere. But she goes, if I dig up the soil at all, she starts going to the bathroom out there. And a couple of weeks ago, I was out there watering under the orange tree, and the hose went up in the air and hit the orange tree, and must have been 200 at least. A swarm of flies came all over me. I just went crazy. I dropped the hose, ran in the house, jumped in the tub. But the poor cat, I see them landing on her, and my daughter came. We hosed everything, got new blankets, new little rugs. She's got all kinds of little houses to go into, and it was all cleaned up regularly. But this fly problem this year, I don't know if it's this intense heat, but I don't know what to put on her, you know, what to get, if there's something to spray on her so they won't attack her, because she's just tearing her hair out in clumps.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to take care of the bugs that are in your backyard. What I would be doing if I were you, I have an exterminator that comes to my house, okay? I hate that term exterminator, but only all natural. It's all natural. Everything he uses is all natural, not going to affect my animals at all. So that's what I would be recommending you do. You have to get rid of the flies and stuff that are in your backyard. If you're talking about mosquitoes in the backyard, then if you have any standing water, you can't have that, because that's what mosquitoes are attracted to, and you know they can cause heartworms, so you want to get rid of those as well. So I think the most important thing right now is treating the environment. In terms of treating, there are products on the market. There are safe products on the market, like I believe that, I believe NatureVet makes an all-natural herbal flea spray for fleas.
What is it called?
NatureVet makes an all-natural herbal flea spray.
NatureVet?
Yeah, I'll give you more information in a second, but I believe they also make, it might be, I'm not positive it works on flies. I know it works wonders on fleas, but you know what? I think I can give some away. So I'm going to send you some of the Nature Vet all natural flea spray. It's mostly for fleas, but it works with flies as well. I'm going to send you some of that. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try to, and that'll make a difference. But again, the most important thing you need to do right now is check the environment. You got to get rid of whatever causing it to stay in the environment, and that can make all the difference in the world.
Right. Well, I usually have a big pan of water for her, and now I thought, well, maybe that's attracting them. But it seems like this year, I think it's the weather or something, there's mosquitoes and these little, they call them ankle biters. Because last night everything has just been cleaned and washed and everything.
Hey, Lorraine, I'm on the west side. We don't have any bugs on the west side.
Oh, you don't?
No, the bugs on the west side walk upright. Okay, no, the bugs where I live, they all walk upright. It's a whole different story. And I should never be living on the west side. I'm from Long Island, New York. I should not be here, but I am. Anyway, so that's what I would do. I would contact some exterminators as well. Get the water up there. If you have to put out water, just put it down for while she's out there for a little while, because mosquitoes are attracted to that, flies are attracted to that, and yes. I would definitely have an all natural person come in, or there's actually a plant that helps keep fleas away. I would contact an all-natural herbal exterminator. You might want to go through the university as well, and I'm sure they can help you out with that. In the meantime,
okay.
Give me a call back. Let me know where. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you some Nature Vet all-natural herbal flea sprays. By the way, it's an amazing product, the all-natural herbal flea sprays by Nature Vet. Again, made right here in Temecula, California. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through literally any standing water. And I don't know, didn't I hear something? Maybe someone will let me know. Didn't I hear that there were actually there were vectors being sprayed in the valley to get rid of mosquitoes? I think I might have heard that. I'm not positive, but I think I might have heard that. The other thing you may want to try, I hate hurting the flies, that's just me, but some of those fly strips can be beneficial. The zappers can be beneficial. There's so many things that can be beneficial. But the most important thing is you want to get anything out of your yard that is in any way attracting the fleas or the flies or what's coming in there. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, Linda, Irene, Mike, you'll be my first calls. By the way, I got plenty of time, so if you have a question or a comment, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So, I told you about this last Gomez. And we are back on the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA. Let me just remind everyone again, if you're not subscribing to my YouTube page, it's free. I mean, literally. I mean, I posted the litter box stuff is up there. Cat aggression is up there. It's all free, so check it out. It's just go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I post a lot of stuff there. There's hundreds of videos there. Some are fun, some are real serious. So if you're really into your dogs and into your cats and want to understand the way they do things and why, check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. The phone number here, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. A little disappointed today. No one answered my question. What does your pet give you that your significant other can't give you? No one wants to answer that. Chickens. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. Let me get right back to the phone lines here. And I believe now we're going to go to Sunland and speak to Irene. And then we got Jeff and Linda and Mike. Hey, Irene, welcome to the Pet Show.
Yes, hi, Warren. Yes, I wanted to bring attention to your listeners and to you, and I hope you invite animal people that love animals and believe in animal rights. And there's going to be a protest tomorrow, Sunday, it's August 7th at 3 to 4. They're going to pass out leaflets and probably have signs, of course. And it's in regards to the National Primate Research, and they're going to have a conference, and it's regarding the monkeys they torture. It's fraud, waste, cruelty. And I'm going to give you the address. This is just a horrible animal experiment. Should come to an end. Torturing, vivisection, torturing an animal while it's alive. They're torturing it. It's got to end. And the monkeys, I know many people, when you talk about the monkeys, they say, I don't want to go there. That really upsets them. And it's going to be at Ventura Beach Marriott. The address is 2055 Harbor Boulevard. And it's going to be tomorrow. The organization, there's a man named Eric that I got the text message from, and then PRISM, PRISM, and I got email from them regarding this. And I'm definitely attending it, and I just think it's so sad that they torture.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is something that I've been very much involved with for years. I remember years and years ago, I was invited to speak at Bryant Park in New York City. I don't know if there's anyone out there that knows Bryant Park, a large park in New York City. There were over 20,000 people that showed up, and I was talking against vivisection. It was three of us talking. It was myself, Bob Barker, and an actress that I loved her for years. She was in Gunsmoke, Amanda Blake. It was the three of us that were up there, and thousands of people talking against vivisection, against animal experimentation. And a lot of people like to close their eyes and think that it doesn't exist, but it does exist. And if anyone, and I also had the opportunity of spending time with Jane Goodall as well. So it also gives you the opportunity. I think it's a great idea. If you want to go out there and protest and it's your belief, that's fine and dandy. But I believe that no animal should be harmed in any shape, way, or form for the benefit, no benefit whatsoever. It's just ridiculous. It's insane. And if you've ever had the opportunity to look into the eyes of any animal, but even primarily a chimp or some other type of primate, those eyes are as human as yours and mine. And they feel the pain, they feel the stress, they feel the anxiety. They know what's happening. It's like, oh, well, they don't know what's happening. Yeah, they know what's happening. They see what's happening. They're anticipating it's going to happen to them. So I agree 100%. So again, the protest tomorrow will be at Ventura. Give me the address again.
Yes, it is. Okay, it's at the Ventura Beach Marriott Hotel, and it's 2055 Harbor Boulevard in Ventura. I'm driving there. I'm going to carpool and get people in the valley to go there. And keep in mind, they use those particular monkeys. What are they called? And they the way they even cage them, and house them is very cruel. And they've been doing these torturous.
Listen, I've been talking about this for 50 years. Okay, it's not new to me. I remember doing a major argument down in Nashville, Nashville, Tennessee, with people that were into. So it's crazy. Anyway, keep me posted. You have my you have my mail at thepetshow.com. You can send me an email or go to my Facebook page.
Yes.
Anyway, I appreciate that. Let me do this at least for you. Let me put you on hold, and I am going to send you a T-shirt. I won't get fast enough to wear it tomorrow, but I hope you will wear it in the future because it says "None of my friends walk upright," and believe me, how true that is. And again, I don't go into his animal rights as deeply here as I do on many other things that I talk about and do during the week. But anyway, yeah. No animal deserves to be abused for any reason whatsoever. My opinion, anyway. 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we got Mike, we got Linda, Jeff, Irene, and Walter. We'll get to all your calls right after this, but I want you to listen up. Listen. Litter box boogie. We were just talking about this. Why does your cat kick litter all over the place? Listen, if you want to get more info on that, check out the YouTube channel. I did a video there, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, litter box boogie. Let me get right back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Mike in Granada Hills. Hey, Mike, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing super, Mike. What's up?
Great. We have this coyote problem that's really gotten out of hand here. There isn't a day, pretty much every day, almost every other day, we don't see one or two roaming the streets here.
You know, it's interesting that you called, Mike, because I had a call just an hour ago from a coyote saying he's seen way too many people walking around Granada Hills.
Yeah, too many. Yeah, right. Yeah, but we don't, grab little chihuahuas and stuff and run off with them,
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Listen, coyotes have every right to live, but so do your little dogs, okay? It's really difficult to take an animal as smart as a coyote, and that's not just here. It's all over the country. I get the same call all over. In my national show, which I'll talk about in a while, I get the same call. The thing you need to do is in your yard is you need to get something called Cougar Urine. Cougar Urine. It comes in crystals or a liquid. You can find it at Amazon. You can find it in any number of places. Cougars are predators over coyotes. So when a coyote smells the presence of cougar urine in an area, they're going to move on. Now, the problem is you can spray it in your yard, but 2 doors down, they're not going to have it in their yard. But anyway, in your yard alone, I would start using that. Now, one of the best ways to do this, and I talk about this all the time, I had these little air horns made up. And I had them made up when I was living in Sedona, Arizona, because that was, there were more coyotes than there were people. And the coyotes were a lot nicer than the people in Sedona, by the way. Just a little side note on my part. Anyway, Mike, what I would do is with these air horns, when you're taking your dog for a walk, or if you see a coyote in your backyard, they have very sensitive hearing, not that much different than a canine. A blast of the air horn is enough. So when I'm walking my dogs, I always have an air horn, whether I see a coyote or some morons letting their dog run loose down the block, or even if it's a person that doesn't look right, a little tap of the air horn can make all the difference in the world. Listen, we're never going to get rid of coyotes. We're never going to get rid of fleas. We're never going to get rid of cockroaches. We have to learn to live with them, and the best way to live with them is to help defend at least your area from them. And those little air horns and the use of cougar urine really can make a difference. So that's about the best thing that you can do. And I would tell people that in your area, if there's a lot of coyotes around, make sure they're not leaving any food sources outside. Make sure they're not, because one coyote finds one cat and kills that one cat. He's going to hang out in that neighborhood because he knows there's a food source there of other cats' possibility. So if they can keep their cats inside, if they have water dishes or cat food dishes outside, keep them inside. If there's no food source in the area, why would the coyotes stay? Their restaurants closed no longer. So again, I'm going to say what I can do. Is it okay if I send you one of those air horns, Mike?
Sure, I'll take one.
Yeah, I'm going to send one to you, but that's about the... Go ahead, Mike.
No, well, you're seeing, we've been seeing pretty much the same coyotes, and there's one that, usually I remember seeing coyotes, and they always look emaciated and malnutrition, but these ones are healthy.
There's some great. Listen, there's some
big German Shepherds.
There's some great restaurants in Granada Hills. That's all I got to say, and that could be part of it too. A lot of restaurants get rid of their waste in the back, so that could be a lot of it too. But the air horns, the coyote urine, the cougar urine, I think that's going to make a difference. It's the best shot we have right now. Now you can go into expenses. There are actually these whole outfits you can put on a dog which has spikes on it. So when you take your dog outside, if a coyote would grab him, he would get all these spikes and leave the dog alone. That's one thing that's out there. They also have coyote rolling fences where they put a roller on top of a fence, so when the coyote tries to get over a fence, he can't because it rolls. So there's a lot of different options out there. So far, I found the best option is when you see them, using the air horn and the cougar urine should be beneficial. I got to move on, but I'm going to put you on hold, Mike. Suzette's going to pick up, and we're going to send you one of those air horns. By the way, if you want one of those air horns, they are available at my website. The website is thepetshow.com. I don't know. I think they're like $8 or $9. I don't even know, $8 or $9. They're really inexpensive. If you want one of those air horns, we just ordered a bunch, and we're going to be out of them by the end of the weekend because I'm talking about it. Check out the air horns at thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com. Let me take a quick break here. By the way, before I go to break, Linda, I'm going to take you next, but let me give you the phone number. This is the phone number. You all know by now that when we're off the air here on KRLA, I start immediately at 1 o'clock with my national Canadian show. Goes all over the United States, Canada, even Guam. It's the same type of show. I give the same type of gifts away. Sometimes you'll hear me talk about topics I talked about on this show. But again, if I don't get to your calls or you're out there schlepping around doing what you do and you have a pet question, write this number down. You can start calling it at 1 o'clock. 87, not before 1, at 1 o'clock, because it goes into Washington, D.C., Radio America, Armed Forces Radio. It's 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Write that number down. Don't start calling to 1. Let me take a quick break. I'll try to get to as many calls as I possibly can. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. I got the doggy do blues. Hey, someone wrote on my YouTube about my question of the day, which is, what does your pet give you that your significant other can't? And Trace wrote, to answer your question, pets are the best listeners in the world. They love you the way you are, and they are the best trustworthy security alarm, and so much more. Boy, you couldn't be more right. All right, here's the deal. Linda, Linda, you got a great question about having more than one cat. Jeff has a great question about a cat opening drawers, and I'd love you, Jeff. I definitely want to get to that call. Walter, great call from Mesa, Arizona. Dogs are constantly engaged in what we're doing. So here's what I want to do, okay? You know I don't like to rush anybody taking a call and not being able to answer. So Linda, Jeff, and Walter, what I'm going to do is write this number down, and you call this number at 1 o'clock. You'll be my first 3 callers on my national Canadian show. So write this number down. I'll give you some great gifts. I give the same type of gifts away, so you can start calling at 1 o'clock, not before. Wait till 1 o'clock. Call this number, and you'll be the first 3 calls I take. So, and if you didn't get the call in today, you're driving around, you can write this number down as well. It's 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. I want to take a couple of minutes at the end of the show today to go over a couple of things with you. First of all, I love you guys, and I love answering as many questions as I possibly can, but we're always running out of time. One of the reasons I've really changed the YouTube channel is it gives me the opportunity to share information either that I don't have time to share on the show. Let's face it, I only have a few minutes to answer each question. On the YouTube channel, I can go into a lot more depth, and there are some short ones there for short responses as well. So if you're not subscribing yet to the YouTube channel, you really should. And again, it's free. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to subscribe, especially if they live with a dog or cat, or have a dog or cat that lives with them or lets them live with them. Lots of great information, some fun stuff as well. So check it out. Here's how you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's simply youtube.com/myname Warren Eckstein. youtube.com/myname Warren Eckstein. So that would be beneficial. And a lot of people know I've been talking about it for weeks, that I've been off Facebook now for 3 months. God only knows why. You know, maybe I adopted too many animals, but here's my new Facebook page if you'd like to like the new Facebook page. The new Facebook page is simply facebook.com/thepetshowradio. facebook.com/thepetshowradio. We'll be broadcasting a lot more stuff there as well. So check it out, either youtube.com/Warren Eckstein or the Pet Show, facebook.com/thepetshowradio. Also right now, write this number down if you have a question or comment. You can start calling in exactly 45 seconds. 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great week. Give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you. One between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. You've been listening to The Pet Show.